What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Dusty, the Airstream Trailer Renovation Restoration. In this first episode of a three-part series, we're going to be talking about polishing Dusty. Now, I'm not going to get in the full DIY of full explanation on how to actually polish. There's a lot of great content and video out there. Specifically, I would go check out Texas Polishing over on Instagram. They do a phenomenal job, and he does a lot of great video content and actually explaining the process. Now, for this three-part series, the way I've broken it up is we're actually going to start from this line down, and we're going to do the entire perimeter of the trailer and polish it first, second, and third cut to the polishing, and that will wrap up the very first video. Second video, we're going to go from here up to the center panel of the roof, and we will polish exactly all the way around the panel as well, and then leave the third video specifically for polishing that last roof panel. Now, there's a couple things that I need to do in preparation ahead of the actual polishing, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Hopefully the camera's picking this up, and I believe this is the old kind of Cerakote clear coat finish that was originally on here, and it's just kind of worn off over the years. You can kind of see the difference between where it's no longer and where it is. And that's kind of my assumption, just the way it feels. The way I'm going to remove that is I'm going to come in with about 400 grit sander. I'm actually going to use the Contour from Eastwood, which gives me a directional going up and down like this. And that's the same pattern I'm going to be using when I do the actual polishing, so everything will just flow in uniform. You can see hopefully from here where I've started to clean that up and get this off and blend it in over here. And once it's blended there, then I could come in with a polisher, and from here, that's where it starts to polish up, just like this. You can see how the old one from here is really starting to polish in, from even to the new panel where they're starting to blend in. And this is just a real quick pass that I did just to kind of give you an idea as we start this video. Once we do that, we'll just continue on through there. And the second part of this video, I'm actually decided I'm going to remove all of the window frames first, reseal them all, re-rivet it, and then polish it so that it's in place and everything's nice and neat. I don't have to worry about it afterwards. So with that, the way this is going to work, just like normally, I'm going to throw this into time-lapse mode. I will throw up some quick notes as we go along through the video process, kind of explaining the process of what I'm doing, and in between that I will also come back to you and explain kind of the process. So we're going to go ahead and start from the very front. We're going to work our way from here. We'll go all the way around until we come all the way back and finish. Once we get the first cut done, I suspect that will take me all day today into tomorrow. Then going into tomorrow afternoon, we'll then apply the second cut, which should go relatively a lot quicker than the first one. And then of course the third and final polishing. And from there we will then start working our way up. It's going to be a pretty dirty job. I do suspect that it's going to take me, based off of what I've got going on in my work schedule, I'm probably going to suspect it's going to take me at least 2, maybe 3 weeks in that process. Maybe I get lucky and it's a little bit quicker, but I'm going to give myself about the 2 to 3 week time frame to get the polishing done. From there, once the polishing is done, we'll then start adding all of the exterior pieces that need to be as the finished product ahead of us moving into the actual inside and doing all the fine details. So with that, I'm going to switch over. We're going to get this work started, and we're going to get Dusty to a nice clean mirror finish. So here we go, guys. Let's go with the polishing and get this work started. What do you say? Here we do it. Alright guys, day one. This is as far as we got. As you can see all the way here, all the way around on this whole bottom side. Now obviously the only pieces we have left is just this rear panel on both ends, obviously the rear center, and that's where we'll be blended in right there. I'm about as filthy as I can get, so with that I'm gonna call this a wrap, go take a shower, and I'll see you guys over on day two. Right now you see me do the first cut on the bottom half of this trailer all the way around. The next step is to do the second cut, followed by the third cut. I did get a little ahead of myself and drill some holes out for the freshwater tank, both for city and for just tank fill, as well as 2 of the tank flushes for the gray tanks. But at least the first cut on this bottom half is done. From there, we'll, like I said, second cut, third cut all the way around. Those cuts are going to go a lot quicker than the first cut, obviously, as we were getting most of it down to the first stage of mirror finish. So now that we're there, it'll help us, allow us to get over to the second and third cut a lot quicker and wrap up this video. From there, we'll go to the second part, which will be the second half here. We will remove all of these window frames out, reseal them, and re-rivet them. I have pulled out this first one, as you can see here. All it is the same thing, just popping out all the rivets. I will go back in and clean each one of these up ahead of reinstalling and re-riveting ahead of polish. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and switch over and we will jump into second cut of this. Now with all of the stuff that I'm using, I will link everything in the description, so go there, you can see a direct link of where I picked it up at and everything that I'm using in this video. So with that, back over, second cut, here we go. Alright guys, now that I've got almost the second cut completely finished on this bottom half, I'm going to go ahead and wrap that up as we go ahead and wrap up this first part of this three-part series. I'm going to go ahead and head over to part 2, where you're going to start to see me remove these window frames. We're going to go ahead and reseal them, re-riveted them, and then get into the first and second cut of this top half. From there, we'll wrap that up. We will then move over to part 3, which will be the final and third cut and final polish to wrap up this three-part series. Guys, I thank you for all the continued comments you've been giving me, all the feedback. If you haven't already, go down, hit the subscribe to this channel, give this video a like, share with your family and friends, and until next time, as always, this is Danny signing out.